Okay,
Yeah.
the train horn's really loud.
Yeah, I do it by...
The other thing about that, the city of Portland does have a noise ordinance that goes in effect after 10 p.m.
I don't do it after 10, you guys already know.
After 10, we can't be doing that at all.
Yeah.
Okay, get ready for this one. So for the last several months, I have been talking about this issue almost every single day, where residents who live across the street from the Portland Federal Building, they have been complaining about loud noise complaints. A judge ruled in favor that the police do not have to respond to the loud noise complaints. However, 24 hours ago, the Portland police just said the city of Portland has a noise ordinance. You can't be making loud noises after 10, but that's what the people across from the ICE building have been trying to say for the last several months. So we have to dig into this, but I do need your help. Make sure to please like this video. It's the #1 way you guys are helping this channel, and it also helps others see the videos as well. I'm only one person. The only reason why others are seeing these videos is because of you guys. And just to show you guys, this was me 3 months ago talking about this same issue. Wondering, where are the Portland police officers? Why are they not assisting, or at least trying to calm the situation down? Well, that's why the city is now being sued. And here we are 3 months later, now the police are in the area saying you can't make loud noises after 10 o'clock.
Train horn.
Oh, why?
So that thing is really loud.
I know, it gets their attention.
I'm trying to keep you out of trouble, so I just want to make sure, issue a warning. I got my body camera on, it's recording. So if you go up to somebody and you're using...
Oh, I'm not going...
Hear you, I just want to make sure you know.
Yeah.
If you go up to somebody and you use that train horn like in their face...
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
It could cause hearing damage.
I wouldn't do that.
And we may have to like...
arrest me. Yeah, I'm not...
Now remember, we didn't just show up to this story. I've been working with Katie Davis Court to help cover this story as well. Here is a clip from June 29th. And I'm warning you right now, this is the actual noise you're about to hear. I used to lower the volume down to protect your hearing. This is your warning, be careful. This is how loud this actual clip is. I have not distorted anything.
This is the Federal Protective Service. The facility is closed and not open to the public. Stay in the area of the driveway to allow for vehicular traffic. Remain on the sidewalk or across the street.
And by the way, this entire clip goes on for 2 minutes with the loud, sustained noises. Now, at that time, this was not common. Out of nowhere, these protesters decided to use these loud noises to disrupt federal operations. And then you all have seen this clip.
Going back every night and destroying and wrecking your shit! Turn it down! We the people need sleep!
And here's where the problem is. Cloud ended up suing the city of Portland, the woman you see right here, and the city of Portland sided with the city police that they do not have to respond to these calls since it's connected to the ICE building or within the area of the ICE building. But apparently now, if you make loud noises after 10, it's a problem. We'll get back to that police interview, but I want to show you guys. Someone from the actual building across the street, he verifies this.
We have the right to safety as well, and living in a free country. Now, the sad part is this past 3 months, there's been all hell breaking loose. Not during the day for 3 months, usually it's at night, and of course, normal media would not be out here. A lot of independent journalists who I follow have been out here though.
So first things first, I want to point out, this resident is confirming that the media, traditional media, is hardly out there. It has been independent journalists who have been covering this story for the story to actually become what it is, to help them out.
But people have been attacked before, and when they call 911, the first question out of the operator's mouth is, are you near the ICE facility? And if you're my neighbor, if you're a visitor, whatever, and you answer yes to that question, the police will not meet you here. There's been journalists who've been beat up. I've seen it, I've talked to them. There's been some of my neighbors harassed, beat up. I've seen it, I live with them. And they either have to meet the police behind the Tesla facility, or if they have to walk 0.7 miles up the hill to meet a police car.
So we are getting 100% confirmation, and we've spoken with other residents as well. We've gotten all this information, and we have the court documents. Residents who live across the street, who have been dialing 911, complaining about noise complaints, complaining about assaults, they get asked, do you live near the ICE building? And then they have to meet the police in a different location. And for the new people here, this is how far you have to walk. So if you live in this area over here, you have to walk around here, up through the sidewalk, all the way back here. And remember, this is you reporting an assault, or if you got assaulted, or if you have an issue with the loud noises. You have to come all the way back here in a safe location, or you go down in this parking lot. Again, this is why we highlight what we highlight. Make sure to please subscribe to my channel because we've been on top of this story every single day, but I need your help to get it out there.
Okay, the train horn's really loud.
Yeah, I do it.
The other thing about that, the city of Portland does have a noise ordinance that goes in effect after 10 p.m.
I don't do it after 10. You guys
so
already know.
After 10, we can't be doing that at all.
Yep.
And we went up to anybody and doing the train horn.
I don't go up to nobody and do
Does that
it.
all make sense?
Yep.
Any questions for me?
Yep. Nope.
Okay, thank you.
No, I'm not here to break the law.
You're just here to be a rude colonizer.
And by the way, the person who's streaming, that is Tommy Boy 4209. I'm sure a lot of you actually follow him or watch him, but that was him filming that. Now, this is him using the train horn. And guess what? It is pretty loud.
Go! Let it go!
So look, Tommy Boy knows what he's doing. He knows this is loud, and he even admitted, I'm not going to do it after 10. He's not trying to get arrested. But I don't know if Tommy Boy realizes he's sort of exploited the issue that's in the area. Why is Tommy Boy being warned you have to stop with those loud noises, yet residents, and I can pull up several other interviews, who have been making noise complaints, when they complain, nothing seemed to have been done. And again, I really want to harp on this. A judge has said, technically speaking, the police officers don't have to respond since it's connected to ICE. That can get in the way of free speech with the protesters. We're in a sanctuary city. So this is what we're trying to point out here. And by the way, huge shout out to Ocean Plot. He's the one who's going out in the streets and also starting to interview all of the residents and protesters in the area. So make sure to go follow Ocean Plot. Go tell him I said hi. I highly recommend his videos. He has really good videos. Now, I don't want to bore you with statistics and the science behind loud noises. I did that several months ago to prove that the city of Portland were not covering their own noise ordinance. This is the residential area as far as the decibels allowed in an area. So 55, 55, 60, 65. That's the max decibel amount between 7 a.m. and 10 p.m. within the city of Portland as far as how loud you can be. But check this out. Now again, I'm not trying to bore you guys with the science, but a regular megaphone, the average everyday megaphone is between 90 to 105 decibels. That's how loud you can get it. And in that original clip I showed you, that sounded pretty loud. And again, that was a sustained noise all the way back in June. Now, I do want to point out, when all of this was happening, the local news actually did interview some protesters, talked about the loud noise complaints, and the protesters, some of them were denying that any of this was happening. You have to remember, at this time, there weren't a ton of media figures. All you had was Katie Davis Court, and all you had was Honey Badger Mom. Outside of them, again, you hardly had the media showing up at night. So it was Katie's word, Honey Badger's word, versus the protesters' words. And we are digging into the archives for this. Again, I've been covering this story for a long time. I knew all of these videos would have to be replayed for everybody. This is from back in June.
The city's ICE facility has filed a lawsuit asking a judge to compel the city to enforce noise codes as protests continue at that building. Fox 12's Michaela Armstrong has more on how this lawsuit is going and how neighbors feel about the situation.
According to the attorney I spoke with, this lawsuit is simple. The city needs to control the noise from these protests. Some residents agree, others think there are other ways to make that happen.
It's shrill and bells.
By the way, the footage that the local news is using is from Honey Badger Mom. Again, the local media was relying on independent journalists from back then to cover the story of loud noises. What a full circle we have reached.
And whistles and air raid siren sounds.
This is some of the noise attorney Julie Parrish says her client Cloud Elvengrail has been enduring since protests erupted outside the ICE building near her home. Now Elvengrail has filed a lawsuit against the city, asking a judge to compel officials to take action on the excessive noise that she says was so loud it caused her ear to bleed.
This is straight up a lawsuit to ask a judge to tell the city, do your job.
We spoke with other people.
And again, the whole point of this is to show you guys the local police have been asked, have been begged, 911, and then all of a sudden to tell Tommy Boy, hey, we have a noise code, we can arrest you. I think people want to see, like, this is a little concerning that out of nowhere, now the noise code is being talked about. What about back then? What about back in June?
People who live in Elvengrail's building. And one neighbor, Tim Polk, said he understood her plight.
At nighttime, there's a lot of people who are just living here like 24 hours a day. And it's been like a month and a half now, them just screaming, using megaphone.
Back in June, he was saying it's been about a month and a half now. So when all of the local politicians and the mayor and governor are saying, you know, this is all fabricated, you have residents in the area. Either all the residents are liars, but we have actual footage. This is from the news. Residents have been saying this has been going on for a while now, and this is back in June.
And they have air horns going on, and they'll, like, I've tried talking to people, and they just start screaming at me. Like, very, just super aggressive, really inconsiderate of the neighborhood.
Polk says there is a fear in the neighborhood amid the protest, and he says that fear caused him to decide to get a taser to stay safe.
Yep.
Don't want to tase somebody, but when you got crazy people running around, like getting in your face, screaming, when just around, like directly outside the door of where you live, not a whole lot of other choice.
He had to do that because when he calls 911, people were not showing up, okay?
However, another neighbor says all this could change if the city made one decision.
To me, the cause of all of this is the ICE facility. Our city can revoke the permit to ICE. The protesters are out here because they do not want ICE in Portland. It doesn't represent the Portland values. So if the city revokes the permit for ICE, then guess what? The facility goes away, and so does the noise.
We reached out to the mayor's office for a response to the lawsuit, but we were told the city declines to comment. As for whether Portland can simply revoke ICE's permit, Fox 12 Investigates asked City Councilor Angelita Murillo that question.
Hey, this is the city councilor. We found her TikTok, and that's when she said, can you guys please take videos of ICE agents and turn it into our office so we know where to target? One other thing I want to say about this city councilor is that I've never seen her at night with her constituents. A lot of protesters who like her have been arrested. I haven't seen her ever at night within the last 4 months, but at this time, to give you more context, the city council was telling their own people, we can get the contract revoked. We think we can get rid of the ICE building because they've been breaking policy. So I just want to point out, I find it rather interesting that this city councilor has been on MSNBC, on CNN, talking about all of this, while her own voters have, they've been arrested.
Earlier this month,
trying to protest an issue which she said she's taking care of.
She told us she's working with the city attorney to determine if the permit has been violated.
They do need to be standing by the agreements of the permit, and if they haven't done that, then that needs to be a discussion to have with council as a whole.
Parrish says her client has asked for an expedited hearing and hopes to have the hearing for this case as soon as possible.
Now, I want to show you guys. I'm actually going to go to that lawyer's X page, and you'll see nothing really has changed. Now, despite the fact that Julie has not followed me back yet on X, I'm just kidding, but for real, check out her page. Please go follow her. She gives a ton of awesome updates. She's awesome. She reposts all the times that the Portland police talk about a noise complaint in the area. And we're talking about constant noise complaints. She keeps reposting that the 911 calls, another one right here, these 911 calls are not getting responded to as far as the noise complaint. So if you want to keep up to date with this story, please go follow Julie Parrish. She reposts every single time somebody dials 911, there's a noise complaint, nobody is showing up. And when I say nobody, the Portland police have not addressed the complaint. Okay, so this news report is from back in August.
The ruling from Multnomah County Judge Ellen Rosenblum was a blow to Cloud Elvengrell and her attorneys, who filed the lawsuit in July, hoping to compel police to enforce the city's noise ordinance from 10 to 7, control the constant protests, and crack down on criminal behavior outside the ICE building.
And by the way, on the local news, you can see this entire building has been destroyed. Graffiti, windows smashed. So for people who are upset with like Katie Davis Court and Honey Badger Mom, I think a lot of people are forgetting that the local news, they've also been documenting this as well.
I don't think what we were asking for was unreasonable. We filed a writ of mandamus asking a judge to compel the Portland police to do their job. But this is actually the first call that my client made to police.
Elvengrell's attorneys shared a 911 recording submitted to the court that includes her client calling 911 for a second time in one night.
I know I called earlier, 650 South Low. I'm calling about the protesters. They cornered 2 women out here. They need help.
And they're talking about Katie Davis Court and Honey Badger Mom. And at this time, when Honey Badger Mom got hit in the head, they made her walk to the back of the building like I showed you guys before. So imagine if you want to go to Portland and at this time you just so happen to be in this area and you're walking by and you get hurt. This could have been you. I really think Americans need to understand this is what's happening right now in this area.
They cornered them. Please send the cops.
Elvengrell's attorney, Julie Parrish, believes police are taking a cue from city leadership and letting criminal behavior.
Oh, just so you know, this guy right now is under trial for doing this. But again, remember, for the local officials who are saying it's not that bad, it's not that violent, I don't know if they realize this is from July.
Slip by. Parrish said Judge Rose.
Look at the windows, all destroyed. Everything was destroyed, which is why everything had to be boarded up. That cost the taxpayers $200,000, and now they want to refortify the building for another $4.5 million.
Rosenblum's ruling essentially said police should use their own discretion when it comes to these matters.
So I hope you caught that. The judge knows and said that the people in the area, they deserve peace. But at the same time, we're just going to allow the cops to figure out what they want to do or not do. But we know from the court records, cops have not been showing up if there is a connection to the ICE building. And we know that the 911 operators ask, are you by the ICE building? Here's what the mayor's office said.
Saying, quote, the city is grateful for the court's thoughtful consideration of this matter.
Kind of a cyclical pattern. Every night, the rioter protesters are acting well beyond what free speech laws allow. They are violating all kinds of time, place, manner restrictions.
Parrish said they are not giving up the fight because it's not just her client, but others in the building who may have PTSD. One tenant at Gray's Landing says he's concerned for his neighbors who are veterans.
So you can imagine an influx of activity and a lot of the loud noises, a lot of the just new people in this area kind of making their protests known.
Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, the only reason why I'm making this video is to bring peace in the area. Now look, if the local police want to start enforcing the loud noises, that's great. But I'm just pointing out, it looks like Tommy Boy seemed to be the only person who was told, hey, we're going to enforce this if you keep up the loud noises after 10. What about the last several months? I have no idea, but we're here to report on this, and all we want is peace, and I think the police, I would hope, want peace as well. Thank you guys so much for being here. God bless, and we'll see you all later.